Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you are all well on this fantastic, fantastic Thursday. And do you know what else is fantastic? You look absolutely amazing today. And I've also been told by a special someone, Amy Lee, that it is another special someone's birthday today. Somebody by the name of Loki. Happy birthday. Not you. Go away. You. Yes, you, Loki. Happy birthday. You amazing, amazing, special little boy. I hope you have a fantabulous day. But anyway, on to some meat and potatoes. Now, you can say thank you to Loki, because I weren't actually going to do this video until tomorrow. But then I found out that it was Loki's birthday, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to do this video. And the original person who spent this on was none other than JB Gunner, the man who is currently on the move, just finished moving, I believe, in Florida. I know some of you don't like JB Gunner. Me and JB Gunner have had our differences, and there are things that me and JB Gunner will never agree on. But that's life. Like, some people will never, ever agree on some of the things we say about certain cases that we deal with. And again, that's just life. Live and let live, get on with it, and move along. But he was talking about Bryan Kohberger, and JB Gunner, like myself, and a very few other people. You know, there's not many at all, but some of us are willing to accept that there are other possibilities in this. And some people are willing to spend copious amounts of time digging as deep as they possibly can in order to get to the truth. And other people like me, who see the hard work that these other people do, I will hopefully help to get that information out. I sometimes don't do it as good as them, but I am quite aware that our audience over here and our community is quite a powerful one. And if we can get some information and put it in front of people and get it seen by others, that is important. That's part of a machine. We are but a cog in a machine that just wants things to be right and things to be proper. But look, we had one of the cogs in our machine, the aforementioned JB Gunner, started to stumble. One of the teeth on his cog was snapped off. And he was talking about the first time he'd kind of had a doubt in his mind. And this is somebody who has inside knowledge of the system, been on both sides of it. So can kind of, to a degree, I suppose not too dissimilar to someone like A.R. Hughes, perhaps. A.R. Hayes. Sorry, A.R. Hayes. I got fucking Hughes on the brain. But yeah, you know, people who have been the other side of the system, and they can, from a psychological perspective, they can really kind of understand what someone may be going through at certain points in their journey throughout the system. And it was regarding the speedy trial and the waiving of a right to a speedy trial. And it was, and I think this is a question on many, many people's, and I suppose it's just a variation of the, why doesn't Bryan Kohberger scream from the rooftops that he's innocent? And I know that this is a question that is frustrating to some people. JB Gunner has got frustrated with it. I've got frustrated too, and we've answered that in terms of it's not as easy as you think. Once you're in the system, you're in it. You can't just turn around and say, it's not me, it wasn't me, let me out, I'm out of here, and they let him out. It doesn't work that way. You have to go through the system. But there are things that you can do. You're not stuck with the legal representation that you have now. So say Bryan Kohberger woke up today and thought, this ain't fucking right. This ain't cricket. Do you know what I mean? I'm an innocent man. I haven't done this crime. And why the fuck am I sitting here? Why am I sitting here when I didn't do it? You know, 2 years is 2 years of someone's time. I consider 8 minutes precious. Do you know what I mean? When someone sits for a video of mine, why I don't ask for donations and I don't ask for Cash App, Venmo and all that is because you have donated your time. And I don't think there's any donation more valuable than the donation of time, because time is something that can vanish, gone, in the blink of an eye. And I feel that everyone should live their life with that in the forefront of their mind, that nothing is promised. The only thing that is promised is yesterday. Tomorrow isn't. So time is the most valuable commodity that we have. So why would Bryan Kohberger, if he is innocent, think I'm willing to just sit here and burn through my time? And it got me to thinking different things because, again, like I say, isn't that just a variation of the why aren't you screaming from the rooftops? And I suppose to a degree it is. You know, if someone's willing to sit there and watch their time slip away like an hourglass, then it's no different than not shouting and screaming. Even though they can shout and scream and no one's going to listen, the variance here is that if he was tired of his legal representation, he could change them. Now, could he change them for someone better? I don't know. Someone could perhaps take this case on pro bono, and maybe they want to make a name for themselves, or they are, no, I'd say just want to make a name for themselves. I can't see, unless there was money involved or the potential for a big payout or you know, to get their name up in lights. I can't see the benefit of it. I know that it's all a figures game, and this, for many legal representation specialists, legal representatives, specialists, lawyers, attorneys, that sort of person, like lawyer, you know, and those sort of guys, they're probably thinking this is pretty much a done deal sold down the river. But there are some incredible, incredible defense attorneys in the world. So someone might want to take this case on. But anyway, I digress. The king of digression strikes again. So why would Bryan Kohberger just happily sit there? If he's innocent, if he's an innocent man, who would be willing to burn through their time? And I think the only person who may sit there and be willing to sit there and just burn their time away is someone who has been told that the likelihood is they are fucked. I can't think of any other way around this. There isn't another way. You know, he's got legal knowledge. He's got knowledge of the law and how the system works. But again, that could be argued that if he's guilty, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't completely know exactly how everything works and the risks involved. But we're talking about this from a is he innocent perspective. Is he innocent? And if he's innocent, why would he simply just sit there? And again, I feel that this is a case of him being told that he has no choice but to sit there. I genuinely think that that is the only reason that he would sit there and happily burn his time away. He has been convinced that he doesn't have a choice. And this is what takes me back to the argument of whether Ann Taylor can be trusted. Can Ann Taylor be trusted? Why would legal representation who is confident in the innocence of their client is saying, I didn't do this, and you believe them, and you have requested and requested and requested everything that the prosecution has, that they're going to, discovery, that you've requested this multiple times, and you're sitting there a year down the track, 18 months down the track, and they haven't given you everything. And you're still chasing it. And you're turning around saying to yourself, I ain't going to be ready for another 18 months. Why aren't you going to be ready? If you are confident in the innocence of your client, the prosecution aren't giving you what you're asking for, how can you turn around and say that you're not ready? And even when you get everything, you feel that you're still not going to be ready for another 18 months or so. That doesn't make sense to me. And that's why I do not trust Ann Taylor. Now, I've been on the fence, and I know this is going to upset some people, but this is exactly why I don't trust Ann Taylor. And I know what people are going to say. They're going to say, you don't understand the law. You don't understand the legal system. He's facing the death penalty. He could die. They need to go through everything. They need to go through mitigation. They need this, that, and the other. Fuck off. I'm talking about this from a guy who was sitting there, and we want to sit there and say there is a potential for him being innocent. Okay, potential for him being innocent, and he has already been sitting incarcerated for around 18 months, and looking at another potential year plus down the road. That's 3 years plus in prison, jail, innocent. Why would anyone do that? Unless they were convinced by their legal representation that they had no choice. And why would legal counsel convince them that that's a fucking brilliant idea if they've got your best interests at heart and they are confident that you didn't do it? Who wins with time? Who wins in this case with time and space, time to breathe? Let's not forget there are things happening in Idaho right now. There are things going on. There are things going through the books. You've got the book of Scott Green coming out, the initial sales period, and this, getting through this period. You've got the acquisition of the University of Idaho and Phoenix University. This is still an ongoing situation. There's other things that are happening that could be influenced by this going to court and falling to pieces. So in my fucking... I'm always suspicious of people. And when there's time and when there's delays and things like this, hoping that everything settles and we are where we are with it, and the prosecution saying, we're confident, we're good to go, we know it's him, we're confident, we're happy, and then the defence on their ass, seemingly, something don't sit right. Someone is trying to bide their time and they're using Bryan Kohberger sitting there. And again, I'm saying this from a perspective, if he is innocent. The flip side of the coin is he's fucking guilty. And that's as simple as that. He's guilty. He did it, and they're basically, look, you're a guilty man, and if you want to get off this, we're going to have to throw every single fucking thing we can, the kitchen sink, the whole 9 yards. So you'll have to sit there and wait until I say we're good to go. Simple as that. Pick one, let me know down below. Once again, happy birthday to the amazing little Loki. I shall catch you all in a live in a few hours' time. Take care.